Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Hyojong Chonbo Asia Pacific online education program. The topic today is entitled Mind and Body Unity, and this is part 5, and the subtopic title is Results of the Fall, Tragic History of Selfishness. We know that based on the previous topics, because of the fall of man, man became selfish. Selfishness actually simply means that the private or the individual purpose became the priority or the primary in our life, and the living for the sake of the whole purpose becomes secondary. So once our bodily desire, once our carnal desire becomes the priority in our lives, and then the spiritual aspect of our life, which is seeking for truth, beauty, goodness, and love, becomes secondary, which is actually the public part of our life, then we become selfish because our priority is only our individual purpose. So what are the consequences and what are the results of being selfish? And how can we see this happening in the history of humankind? As you see in individuals, if you only think about yourself, your individual happiness, then most likely you involved in drugs, you're involved in immorality, vices, drinking, smoking, and this actually destroyed the lives of many young people of today. So in individuals, selfishness results in something that is not good for the young people, that is not good for humankind, and this becomes actually a world-level problem, not only individual problems. So what is the result of selfishness in families? So once husband and wife, in a relationship between husband and wife, you can see that if husband only thinks of himself, wife only thinking of herself, then most likely they will divorce, they will fight, and they cannot harmonize with each other. So family breakdown is basically the result of selfishness once it is practiced and applied in the family. So it can destroy the family. Selfishness can destroy the family. How about in nations and people? What will be the effect of selfishness? We can see that many wars, nation fighting against each other, nation against other nations, killing each other. This kind of selfishness in the national level will result in conflicts and wars. And we can see that history of nations, if you can check it in history, we can see that it is a history of war. It is a history of conflicts. And because of this, many people suffered a lot. Many people experienced so much difficulties in their lives. Also, the socio-economic impact of this selfishness is really destroying our people. Poverty and starvation, as we can see. In Africa, more than 2 million people die every year because of starvation. Or more than 60,000 people die every day because they cannot eat. This is the result of selfishness when it comes to socio-economic aspects of our lives. In businesses, in nature, what is the impact of selfishness? It can make problems of pollution, global warming for the environment. And for businesses, it can make businesses corrupt, businesses that can really destroy humankind. These are the effects of selfishness once applied in businesses and even in our environment. How about in governance? In governance, corruption is the natural consequence of selfishness, like the budget for the nation, for the people, is actually being used by politicians for themselves, for their own families, for the sake of lower purposes, over and above the purpose of the nation, which is greater and higher. So in governance, problem of selfishness is also really destroying our society, our nation. So these problems of selfishness is what? It's simply the reversal of what is public and what is private. With public or the purpose for the whole should be the priority, and private should be secondary. And because of the private or the individual purpose becoming the priority, then this becomes a big problem in the society today. So, in short, living for the sake of myself, in individuals it destroys character. In families it destroys relationships. In societies it destroys economics. In nations it corrupts governments. And globally, selfishness destroys civilizations. So, our next topic, my dear brothers and sisters, will be part 6, and please join us together in part 6. Thank you very much.